Welcome. Today we're diving deep into a crucial aspect of prepping, avoiding common pantry mistakes. These are the kind of oversights that can turn your well-stocked larder into a haven of hunger in a crisis. Now let's get stuck in. Choosing the right location for your prepper pantry is absolutely critical. It's not just about finding a convenient cupboard, it's about creating an environment where your supplies can survive, even thrive, in the long haul. Heat and humidity are the silent killers of a well-stocked pantry. They can turn your precious stores rancid, accelerate spoilage, and leave you with nothing but a pile of inedible mush when you need it most. Think of it like this: you wouldn't leave a bar of chocolate out in the scorching sun, would you? It would melt into a gooey mess. The same principle applies to your pantry goods. Flour, rice, beans, they all have a shelf life, and that life expectancy plummets when exposed to excessive heat and moisture. Now you might be thinking, Bear, my garage seems like the perfect spot. It's out of the way, plenty of space. But hold your horses. Garages are notorious for temperature fluctuations and dampness. They might seem convenient, but trust me, they're a recipe for disaster when it comes to long-term food storage. Instead, look for a cool, dark, and dry location inside your home. A spare bedroom, a basement, even a well-insulated closet can make an ideal prepper pantry. Remember, we're aiming for consistency here. We want a stable environment that will keep those supplies fresh and ready for action when the time comes. Think of it like choosing a campsite in the wild. You wouldn't pitch your tent in a riverbed, would you? You'd search for higher ground, a sheltered spot protected from the elements. Your prepper pantry deserves the same level of strategic planning. Alright, you've found the perfect location for your prepper pantry, a cool, dry haven away from the elements. Now, let's talk about how to store your precious supplies, because using the wrong containers is like using a leaky bucket to carry water. First and foremost, ditch those flimsy shop-bought bags and cardboard boxes. They might be fine for a weekly shop, but for long-term storage, they're an open invitation to pests, moisture, and disappointment. We need something tougher, something that screams, "We're ready for anything." This is where the heavy-duty heroes of the prepper world come in, food-grade buckets, my friend. These bad boys are like the armored tanks of the storage world, built to withstand the test of time and hungry critters. Make sure they're clearly labeled with the contents and the storage date. Remember, organization is key in a crisis. Next up, we have vacuum-sealed bags, the secret weapon against air and moisture. These are fantastic for storing dry goods like beans, rice, and oats, keeping them fresh and delicious for years to come. Invest in a good quality vacuum sealer, and you'll be amazed at how long your food lasts. And let's not forget about oxygen absorbers, the tiny packets that work wonders in preserving the quality of your stored food. They absorb oxygen like a sponge, preventing oxidation and extending the shelf life of your supplies. Think of them as the unsung heroes of your prepper pantry, working tirelessly behind the scenes. Remember, choosing the right containers isn't just about organization. It's about protecting your investment, your lifeline in a crisis, so ditch the flimsy and embrace the robust. Your future self will thank you for it. Rotate or regret. The importance of a first-in, first-out system. Now let's talk about a mistake that even the most seasoned preppers can fall victim to: neglecting rotation. You see, building a prepper pantry isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process, a bit like tending to a garden. You need to keep things moving, keep things fresh, or you risk ending up with a stockpile of stale disappointment. Imagine this: you've meticulously built your pantry, shelves stacked high with supplies, but then a real emergency hits, and you reach for those cans of fruit you stored away months ago, only to find they've expired. Talk about a gut punch. This is why a strict first-in, first-out system, or FIFO for short, is absolutely crucial. Think of it like a queue at a theme park. The first one in line gets to ride first. The same goes for your pantry. As you add new supplies, move the older ones to the front, making sure they're the first to be used. This is especially important for items with a shorter shelf life like peanut butter, cooking oils, and even those trusty boxes of pasta. These items might seem like they last forever, but trust me, their quality degrades over time. By rotating them regularly, you ensure that you're always consuming the freshest, most nutritious food available. Remember, a prepper pantry isn't about hoarding, it's about being prepared. And being prepared means having access to edible, nutritious food when you need it most. So make FIFO your mantra and keep those supplies fresh and ready for action. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The importance of spreading your stash. We've talked about location, containers, and rotation. Now let's address a crucial aspect of prepping that often gets overlooked: diversification of storage. Remember, we're preparing for the unexpected, and in the world of prepping, relying on a single point of storage is a risky game. Imagine this: you've poured your heart and soul into building the ultimate prepper pantry, a fortress of sustenance. But then disaster strikes: a fire, a flood, a break-in, and your entire stockpile is wiped out in one fell swoop. Talk about a survival nightmare. This is why it's essential to spread your prepper stash, to create multiple caches in different locations. Think of it like a squirrel burying nuts for winter. They don't put all their eggs in one basket, do they? They create multiple stashes, ensuring their survival even if one or two are compromised. Now, I'm not suggesting you start burying cans of beans in your backyard, although, hey, whatever works. But consider diversifying your storage locations. Could you store some supplies at a trusted friend or family member's house? What about a discreet cache in your vehicle or a small, hidden stash in your workplace? Remember, we're aiming for redundancy here, creating a safety net of supplies that can be accessed in various situations. This approach not only mitigates risk but also provides peace of mind, knowing that you have backup options if one storage location is compromised. So think like a squirrel, spread your prepper wings, and create a network of resilience that can weather any storm. Preservation perfection. Mastering the art of long-term food storage. We've covered location, containers, rotation, and diversification. Now let's delve into the heart of long-term food preservation, mastering the techniques that will transform your pantry into a survival goldmine. Because let's face it, stockpiling food is only half the battle. Knowing how to preserve it properly is what separates the survivors from the, well, you get the picture. Canning, my friends, is a time-tested method that's been around for centuries. It's like capturing sunshine in a jar, preserving the bounty of your garden or those grocery store deals for years to come. From fruits and vegetables to jams and jellies, the possibilities are endless. But remember, proper sterilization and processing techniques are crucial for safe and delicious results. We don't want any unwanted bacteria crashing our survival party. Next up, we have dehydration, a fantastic way to preserve fruits, vegetables, and even meats. It's like removing the water from food, putting the brakes on spoilage, and concentrating those delicious flavors. Think dried mangoes, sun-dried tomatoes, beef jerky, the perfect snacks to fuel your adventures, whether it's a camping trip or a full-blown crisis. And finally, let's talk about freeze-drying, the astronaut food of the prepping world. This method removes moisture from frozen food, leaving you with lightweight, shelf-stable meals that can last for decades. It's a bit of an investment up front, but the peace of mind it provides is priceless. Remember, mastering these preservation techniques empowers you to take control of your food supply, to create a pantry that's not just stocked but thriving with nourishment. So, roll up your sleeves, embrace the challenge, and become a preservation pro. Outro: stay prepared, stay resilient. Well, there you have it, folks. 5 common prepper pantry mistakes to avoid like the plague. Remember, building a resilient pantry is an ongoing journey, not a destination. It requires planning, dedication, and a willingness to adapt. My goal with this channel is to equip you with the knowledge and skills you need to thrive, no matter what life throws your way. From prepping and sustainable living to homesteading and current events, we'll cover it all. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay prepared, stay resilient.